We are back. This is my sister Jenny and I'm Heather, and we own a vegan cooking school called Spork Foods, and we're here to teach you how to make a sticky date caramel pudding.
Yep, but we're gonna make it in a really natural way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by making our caramel using some virgin coconut oil. Adding the coconut oil because we want that coconutty flavor in here. If you don't want the taste of the coconut, use the refined coconut oil instead. And then we're gonna go ahead and add in some maple syrup. We put a little cinnamon on here and a little bit of sea salt as well. So we're just gonna go ahead and put that in. And we're gonna put in, for a little more flavor and a little sweetness, some of these dates. These are medjool dates, and they're one of the largest varieties, but any variety you can find will be amazing. They all have little pits, so go ahead and just take that pit out.
We love to eat these not only in our pudding, but also we throw them into our smoothies in the morning to add a nice sweetness. Sometimes even we balance it out with some maple syrup. So we're using really nice, just very natural ingredients to add some sweetness.
All we're doing is chopping them up a little bit, and then they're hard to cut, you know? They're sticky. Exactly, and that's what's gonna make this a sticky date caramel pudding.
We say things at the same time, and it's embarrassing, but we're not doing it on purpose.
So we're just adding these into our pan, and we're gonna soften up the dates a little, and we're going to incorporate them with the maple syrup, the cinnamon, and that virgin coconut oil. So it's starting to smell really good, and all you're doing is softening these for, you know, a minute or so, and then we're gonna go ahead and blend this up in our food processor.
I wish you were here to smell this. It smells not only sweet, but also it has that coconut scent.
So we're taking our mixture that has softened, so you can see that those dates have broken down a little, and you just wanna soften them up. We're gonna transfer them right into the bowl of our food processor. And then we're gonna add a little of that almond milk to help thin this out and create our caramel for our pudding. So we're gonna make a pudding base separately, but we wanted to make this first because you let the flavors come together a little bit.
So this is just our unsweetened almond milk. This goes in, and we're just gonna blend this together, and it's gonna get really nice and uniform. Okay, so what we like to do is sort of scope out the scene. This looks really nice and smooth.
Yeah, I think that it's already finished. For the base of our pudding, what we're doing is we're making basically a vanilla bean pudding. And we're gonna use 2 cups of almond milk that we've already heated up our pot a little, and we're gonna add that in to simmer the almond milk.
This is an unsweetened almond milk because we want to use our own sugar. This is the Wholesome Sweeteners unbleached sugar that we'll put in there.
Yeah, so we're gonna use some unbleached evaporated cane sugar, the cinnamon, the Ceylon cinnamon that we love, and we're just gonna get the flavors going in here.
And really you just want to stir this around and just dissolve all of those sugars and make it very uniform.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll see little chunks of cinnamon, and that's totally fine for now because we're gonna continue to stir this together and it will thicken up when we add our thickening agents. But what we're gonna do while that's coming to a simmer is we're gonna cut up a vanilla bean and add the vanilla bean seeds in there. But what you do is to get the seeds out, you need to use a paring knife. You don't wanna use a large knife for this because you're really doing a fine cut. And you just kind of take the knife and insert it right into the middle of the vanilla bean. So you slide your knife through the vanilla bean and you split it in 2. And then you slide that paring knife along the inner edge of the vanilla bean. And then incorporate them into our almond milk.
They tend to clump together, so you really want to mix this around pretty vigorously to get them separated a little bit.
Our almond milk mixture is at a simmer, so what we need to do is help thicken this up with a little bit of kudzu root starch. Okay. So we're just gonna take our almond milk and we're just gonna whisk it and we're gonna make our slurry. It feels chalky at first, and then you need to just work on it and it will thin out just like you would do with cornstarch, but instead of using cornstarch in this, which is usually really genetically modified, we want something more natural.
Okay. So this is it. It's really nice and smooth and uniform, and all that chalkiness that you see in this package has gone away.
Yep. So what we want to do is we want to take it and help to thicken our pudding by drizzling it in to our mixture and stirring constantly. So it'll take about 3 minutes to really thicken up, but it happens pretty fast. You can already see it start to thicken.
Okay, so this pudding is really nice and thick, but we want to add another ingredient to make it even thicker, which is called arrowroot. This is a starch that grows in tropical regions of the world.
So you do the same thing as you did with kudzu. You thin it out and you make a slurry, and this only takes 30 seconds to thicken, just like cornstarch. So any alternative, any recipe that calls for cornstarch, use arrowroot instead. Exactly 1-to-1, it has the same properties, it thickens up in the same way. Yeah, so again, we just drizzle it in to our mixture, and this will help to add a little bit more of that pudding consistency. In 30 seconds, you're done. You shut off your heat, remove it from the heat, and then you have your pudding. And what happens is it will thicken up in the fridge. So you can go ahead and eat this now when it's warm or later, and all we're gonna do is combine it with that amazing little date caramel that we made. Okay, so you have your thickened up pudding, and all we're gonna do is take a little scoop in here, put it into our mug, then we're gonna add some of that amazing date caramel to incorporate in and on top. Double it up, guys.
Please don't forget to add some on top, okay? So we have the caramel inside. We'll go ahead and give this a stir. Thanks, sis. Appreciate it.
No problem, I'm here for you.
Appreciate it, okay? And then our other one as well. Okay, until it's nice and well incorporated. And then we just add some to the very top so people know what it is that they're eating.
Yeah, and because it tastes really good. So you can serve the date caramel with anything you want. You can serve it just with fruit, or it's really amazing in this little pudding.
Yeah, also if you have some bananas, you can throw some bananas, layer those in here, that's really good. Also, if you want to get super decadent, we're just saying, you can sprinkle some chocolate chips across.
I knew she was going to say that, chocolate chips.
I mean, of course.
That's our decadent thing.
So this is it. And you know, this is a really great dish to serve to company. You can put it in cute little mugs like this, or little ramekins, or anything that you have at home.
Kids love it too.
So maple syrup has a really high iron content, and that's a really great immune boosting food. It's also really good for if you have skin problems like acne. Don't rub it on your face, but when you ingest it, it really helps clear up skin problems that you may have. Also, the cinnamon that we're using is called a Ceylon cinnamon. This is by Frontier Spices. Ceylon cinnamon is actually a true cinnamon.